Hello, beautiful ladies. Welcome to our presentation today. The 5 shifts our 40 plus women use to lose weight, restore health, reverse aging, get in head turning shape, and look and feel amazing. We are redefining aging at every turn. I am your host, Karen McCoy, and I will see you through this presentation. So let's dig in. So, who is this presentation for? So, this is for you if you are a 40 plus woman who is frustrated with her body and aging and you want to finally reach your body transformation goals. You don't want to waste any more time or money on diets, trainers, programs, or things that simply don't work. You struggle with hormones and you just want to start feeling good again. You want to feel confident, reclaim your personal power, and stay strong and independent for the rest of your days. So, this really is about weaving your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual self into the beautiful fabric of you. So, who is this not for? So, this is not for you if you're looking for another diet because we know they don't work. You're hoping this presentation will fix everything. You're not comfortable with inner work. You see it as irrelevant, or it even scares you. Or you think, when I lose the weight, I'll feel better. Instead, I want you to think, when I feel better, I'll lose the weight and a whole lot more. So, our goals in this masterclass is to show you how to work with your aging body rather than against it, balance your hormones, stop the do over, stop dieting, understand your unique biochemistry and metabolism, uproot self sabotage and self limiting beliefs, dispel the myths, love your food again. I call it food freedom, reclaim your power, and of course, love yourself into health. So, who am I? So, I have been in this space for 25 years as a coach. I have been hanging around for about 40 years with competing and doing nutritional seminars for people all over the world. And these are some of my girls in my home gym. I live on Vancouver Island, Canada, and I get to hang with my besties, of course, but I'm also online. I've been online for over 15 years now. One of my passions is competing. So these are just a bunch of photos from my shows. I competed from 29 to 54. I no longer compete, but what I did learn in all of those years was about metabolism, aging, hormones, how to manage our bodies through the aging years. When you go through a show, it's very intense, and your body is really at a place where you really have to manage it well. Please note, I've always been organic. I have never done any drugs, no steroids, no fat burners. I've done it all through whole foods, quality training, hydration, sleep, all the good stuff. So, for me, being well and being healthy through the process was really important. But as a coach, I got to learn tons along the way. And it's a lot of these lessons that I bring to women like you. So, but this is my real passion. I am a mother to this beautiful boy, Tristan. Many of you know my story. Tristan is 29. He lives with a degenerative condition. And this is where I learned so much more about health and wellness. I used to think it was just physical and nutritional, of course, but I was at the top of my game, winning shows, eating exceptionally well. And when he was diagnosed at 5, my whole world fell apart. My health fell apart. And I was ill for many years. And I had to learn to heal myself. And this was when the emotional and spiritual work came in. So I bring a ton of that into my work. So let's move into the meat of the masterclass. So does this sound like you? You study nutrition, exercise, weight loss, you've tried a ton of things, but you still can't make it work. When life happens, you throw in the towel, returning to old habits like poor eating, you lose motivation or willpower. You feel like you're at a crossroads in your life. You're looking for more. You're not really sure what that looks like, but for you, there's a feeling of wanting more meaning or purpose or a change in your world. So this is where we think we're doing what we're supposed to do. So this is where I'll see women cardio, cut calories, nothing happens or it doesn't stick. They do Beachbody, CrossFit, circuit, or hits with no real results. They think it's all about the numbers, the macros, the calories, the formulas. They go into keto, intermittent fasting, low carb, paleo, vegan. They're really not sustainable and they're really not enjoyable. And this is where a lot of women say, well, I'm working on the inside stuff, reading self help books, hoping to feel inspired or to get their groove back on. So this is where I say you're aging faster than you'd like. And we all want the next 20 or 30 years, depending, to be the best ever on the planet. So this is why things aren't working for you. Number one, ladies, you're out of your power. Simple. You're older now. What worked before simply won't work anymore for your midlife body. You're following mainstream, doing what everyone else is doing. And trust me, it is not the right way to do things. You're not getting to the root of things, and you're not doing the foundational work, the inner work that is so, so important. So, what do we truly need to win at this healthy aging game? So, we're going to look at the three basics: food, movement, and mindset. But I want to look at it with a deeper lens. So, we're going to look at my 4 point food factors. We're going to look at movement that matters and the psychology behind it, the beliefs, right? So, first of all, I want to go into everybody's worst nightmare, the weight loss strategy that is what a lot of women have been doing for decades. Does this sound like you? You go on a diet to try to lose weight, you add in more cardio to try to boost the metabolism, because that's what you've read, right? We portion the food, cut calories, it all seems to be working for a while. And then the weight loss stalls out. And this is the weight loss plateau, and you could sit there for weeks, months, or even longer. So we try harder, train longer at the gym, increase the cardio. Maybe we weren't doing enough. We cut more calories, but the scale still won't budge. And in fact, it looks like it's coming back on. Nothing seems to be working anymore. You start feeling really depressed and despondent. It's happened before and it's happening again. So, what's really going on? This is what we call the diet triad of false fat loss. So, the immediate is the honeymoon phase. This is where the weight loss comes off fast, but it's mostly water and some precious muscle. Then we plateau. This is where things slow down because the body starts getting wise to what's going on and it begins to put on the brakes. And then the cumulative phase is where the body actually rebels. It slows down the metabolism to compensate, and the weight starts to come back on easier now. So this is all too common for the 40 plus woman. And as we know, with every diet attempt, things get worse because the body gets wise and it senses a starvation and it shuts down. So let's look at the food. So this is what I call the four food factors: meals, timings, portions, and macros. So this is about building strategy and structure to bring your body and metabolism back into homeostasis, which is just a fancy word for balance, right? So we need to have four and we need to be consistent with it. So this is where I always say focus on metabolism first and weight loss second. And this is what I call food freedom. This is me with one of my cheat meals during one of my shows. Yes, I ate a ton. This is where we're leaning into intuitive eating. It takes some time to get there, but this is where we want to aim. But we have tools we can use. We can use cheats. We can use refeeds, and we can use what I call the 36-hour McCoy Mini Juice Fast. All of these are lovely tools for women over 40 to boost that metabolism, keep it strong, and allow the weight loss to come naturally to the body. Let's look at exercise, or what I call movement that matters, right? So we have to look at our goals, our experience, our lifestyle, and we have to look at recovery. There's an asterisk there because it's so important. We do not overtrain. We don't leave it all on the gym floor, as they say, not at this age. We must manage our recovery. So as our body changes, so too must our movement plan. And this is where strength training is super, super important. And it has been researched for decades, and women are finally catching on to the benefits and beauty of strength training. So, this is where the 40 plus woman, we have a unique biochemistry, unique nervous system, hormonal and skeletal changes that require a very different strategy. So, again, that's just me and a bunch of my gals. Again, in my home gym, that's my tribe. And this is where we must train our age, as I call it. So we've seen a lot of this: the burpees, the ropes, the CrossFit pull ups, and the clean and press. I would say be very careful or don't engage in these if you're not schooled in them, ladies. It is too much for our age and for our recovery. So please note that. And then we go into fat loss protocols where we think we're revving our metabolism with Beachbody, HIIT classes, boot camps, and of course, cardio. All of them are lovely, but again, at this age, we must do differently. So I also want to share with you a cautionary tale about bone health. So this is my fam. This is my family. My mom's in the middle, my sister, and of course I'm on the left side there. And we all started at the same height. Well, I'm an inch shorter than my sister. My poor mama has lost 5 inches. So this is where my sister and I have always weight trained, always eaten our protein, whole foods, and my poor mama is from a different generation. They didn't include any of that. And of course, I couldn't coach her in it because she was set in her ways, like a lot of our parents and grandparents, right? And she figured that walking was enough. A little bit of yogurt here and there was enough. My poor mom now, actually, this was taken 2 years ago, and she's now in a wheelchair. So, bone strength is super, super important. And that is where proper macronutrients, protein, carbs, and fats, mostly protein, and strength training is indisputable. We can't waver in those anymore. The effects of osteoporosis are fast and they happen in our 40s and they really speed up in our 50s unless we create a strategy around our food and our strength training in order to combat it. Bone is living tissue, guys, and we lose it unless we use a required strategy to put it in there. Walking is not enough. Cycling is not enough. It's very area specific. So we must train all of our muscle groups in order to put the stress on the bones so they stay strong, right? So let's go into mindset. This is the foundational work. So science shows us that 95% of our beliefs are unconscious, and that's what's really running the show. So we need to update our operating system, our brain, if you will, in order for real change and real results to happen. So this is where I'll hear women say, I think I'm doing everything right, but it's something isn't shifting. So this is where I say we need to manage our outer world so our bodies can return to balance, which lowers cortisol and inflammation and allows our body to release the weight, right? We're not acidic anymore. So it's not about changing the external environment because life happens to us and it always will. It's the internal environment that we need to shift. So this is where women will say, well, I've done a lot of therapy and counseling over the years. I do yoga and I meditate every day, and I've taken tons of self-development programs. All of these are lovely, ladies, but most of the time they do not shift us in our beliefs and self-identity. So this is where we're being asked to up-level our beliefs and expand our self-identity. We need to step in a different way. So what I do with my women is we actually start with a beliefs detox. And it's a lovely exercise where they get to map out their beliefs. And what we do is work through them to create a turnaround to expand our self identity and throw those outdated, limiting beliefs to the curb that have been haunting us for 20, 30, 40 years. Because what I always say is you cannot have a physical transformation without an emotional one as well. Most women, no, I would say all women absolutely love the process. They're a little bit leery of it at first because they're like, well, can't you just tell me what to eat and how to train? Yes, I can, but unless we shift on the inside, we're not going to see it played out on the outside. And there is such freedom and power and strength and a return to self when they go through this process. So, this is where we have the 3 steps. We start actually with mindset alongside proper food strategy and proper movement plan. And all three must work together. So imagine this, ladies, creating a strong, lean, shapely, healthy body at your beautiful age and beyond. You no longer struggle with your food or your weight. You know what to do now. You're feeling connected to your body again. You're managing stress and challenge with calm, ease, and awareness. And you're being there for the people you love for many years to come. This is about living consciously and knowing why you are here. So, we really need to have all 5 shifts working together to create a lifestyle strategy that supports healthy aging. So, we've looked at food and movement and mindset. Let's add in the last two. accountability and support, and of course, mentoring. So accountability and support is super, super important. So, are you being accountable? We can just purchase a program, but there's nobody at the other end to support or coach us through, right? And are you being supported daily? Yes, daily, I find, is absolutely important. Weekly or bi monthly is just not enough. And it really requires that group or one to one support, whichever program or model you're using to be able to support you, because that's when the coaching really matters. And mentoring, of course. Do you have a mentor or a coach to teach, guide, and support you? And is she someone who walks the walk and inspires you? We are here to live and lead by example. So, as I coach women, I know my biggest responsibility is to live the life, to pass on my guidance and experience to the women that I am supporting through this process. So, who do I work with? Oh, this is Buffy. I got to share Buffy with you. Buffy is down 40 pounds and she came to me low carbing. She had a dreaded fear of carbs. We started real slow. And with her, I added in half a cup of rice in one meal. And she sat with that for quite a while until she became comfortable with adding carbohydrates in and until her body knew it was okay. And then we increased. So, in increasing that and putting her on just 3 day a week a weight training program for about 40 minutes a day, she has gone down 40 pounds. She is strong. Look at those arms. She is shapely and she is loving it. And she's eating all whole foods, including her carbs again. So, who do I work with? So, I simply work with women who are sick and tired of being sick and tired. They're ready to put themselves first. They value expertise and guidance, and they've been stuck in their weight loss or body transformation goals for years, and they're wanting a proven, no BS strategy that works. These are women who want to own their body and live authentically, grounded, and confident. These are women who want to age well, age differently, beautifully from this day forward. So, a couple of my other gals, this is Jen up top. Jen has been with me for many years. And she did the empowerment coaching, the beliefs detox with me. And we worked on that one. And she has lost, actually, she's lost more than 80 pounds now. And this is 7 years later. So it's really important to understand that what we do must be sustainable. It must be a workable lifestyle plan. She has done so well, and her mindset is so strong and empowered that she now coaches women in my program because she has done so well, and she is a godsend to the women coming into the program. And this is Kristen. She has worked with me as a nutritionist as well, but she first came to me as a personal trainer and nutritionist. So she kind of knew her stuff, but she, again, was stuck in low carb. She was following mainstream. She could not lose the weight. Now, after working with her, shifting her food, which was increasing her food intake, including carbs, and putting her on more of a structured, focused training program. She's down 30 pounds, 9% body fat, and she looks and feels amazing. I'm really proud of these ladies. So, where do we go from here? So, I have set aside time, the next 72 hours, to speak with you about your goals. So, what I want to do is look at where you are, where you want to be, and if there's something I can support you with, I'll show you what that looks like. If not, I can point you in the direction of something that will support you. But regardless, I want you to get clarity and value and freedom on the call with me. So we will create a solid strategy to get you moving forward in your healthy body and your life goals. And I do not charge for these calls. So why am I doing this? Because simply, I love helping women reclaim their health and vitality and coach them into their best body and best self. This is my mission on this planet. And I want women to embrace healthy aging and recognize how beautiful and powerful they truly are. And please know this, ladies, I am you. I walk the walk as a over 60 woman, business owner, I call myself a lifestyle athlete now, not a competitor, author, speaker, writer, wife, and mother. So I walk alongside you, and it would be my absolute honor to be able to support you in any way possible. So if you want to step outside the norm, learn a fresh approach to living in a strong, healthy, lean body, live a powerful life at 40, 50, 60, 70 years of age, click the link below. Spaces are very limited, so please sign up there now. It's at warriorwomanfitness.com/apply, and a questionnaire will come to you. Please fill that out so I can see where you are. I can see your history. I can see where you're stuck, any limitations, all that kind of stuff. You'll book a call around your schedule and we will chat. So thank you for being here today during this masterclass. I hope you enjoyed it. And please remember, ladies, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. And I really hope that you decide to take that step. All right. Thank you. Blessings to you. Namaste.